Hello and welcome to the IELTS Coach. In today's lesson, I want to tell you about some truths and lies about the IELTS exam. There is a lot of information about the exam on the internet and in books. Some of this information is in fact not true. So today we will look at 4 things that many people believe are true, and we'll decide, or I will let you know, whether they are true or whether they are a lie. So as we look at each of these, can you tell me from your own opinion, is this IELTS information true or false? IELTS exams are easier in English-speaking countries. So many students think that if they go to England, America, or Australia and do the exam there, the exam will be easier and their mark will be higher than if they did it in their home country, say France, Vietnam, or Saudi Arabia. So, do you think IELTS exams are easier in English-speaking countries? The answer to this is no. The IELTS exam is very strictly monitored and controlled, and they are designed to be the same level of difficulty all around the world. So it doesn't matter where you do the exam, it will be the same exam in every country and every city around the world. It will be marked in exactly the same way. The next one we will look at, writing task 2 is worth more marks than writing task 1. So this comes from quite a lot of books. We'll have both ideas here. Some books say that task 1 and task 2 are worth 50% of the total writing mark each. Some books say that task 2 is worth more than task 1. I have seen this in my own experience. I've had students ask me this question. So which is it? Which is true? The fact is, writing task 2 is worth more marks than task 1. In fact, twice as many marks. 1/3 of your score for the writing band score comes from task 1. 2/3 comes from task 2. This is actually very useful to know if, for example, you do the writing exam and you have finished both tasks and you have 5 minutes left. My advice would then be to spend that 5 minutes making your task 2 even better, fixing up any little mistakes you've made in task 2. Because if you correct the mistakes in task 2, that will help you more than correcting mistakes in task 1. So focus on task 2. Of course, complete both tasks, but if you have that extra time, try and make task 2 as good as it possibly can be. The next true or false piece of information about IELTS, it is important to sound like a native speaker in the speaking exam. I have quite a few students ask me about their accent and whether they should be using an American or British accent. And the answer to this is, do you need to sound like a native speaker? The answer is no. You're not expected to. It's very difficult to if you don't live in that country and you don't have years of exposure to that accent. You are not expected to sound like a native speaker. You are expected to sound clear and be easy to understand, to have good structure. You are expected to have good grammar and vocabulary, but your accent is not important, as long as it does not affect how the examiner understands you. And the last point I want to look at today, female speaking examiners give higher scores than male examiners. Or some people believe the opposite. Male examiners give higher scores than female examiners. And this is simply not true. As I mentioned before, the IELTS exam all around the world is exactly the same. The speaking examiners will mark you exactly the same way. So whether your examiner is a male or female does not matter. Where they are from does not matter. What country you do the exam in does not matter. They are all exams are marked in exactly the same way. So those are 4 things that I get asked about quite a lot. 4 things, we can see there, 3 of them are false, 1 of them is in fact true. So if you know this information, it can help you in preparation and in getting ready for the exam. Before I go for today's lesson, I just want to let you know that I do have an offer of a $1 Skype lesson. If you have any questions about the IELTS exam, just for a very low price of $1, we can spend 20 minutes practicing some Part 1 questions. You can ask me questions about any part of the exam and just get to know me and decide if you want to continue and do further study online. So the link is there. I'll also put the link under this video. So thank you for watching this lesson. I hope to see you on the IELTSCoach.com very soon. Thank you and goodbye.